All right, friends. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. And I'm going to just kind of read through my script, outline, journal entries, just all of the thoughts that have come rushing in today's episode. And you may hear some little ones in the background. There's one sleeping who may laugh or cry in her sleep. But we're going to do this a little differently today. I'm just going to kind of dive in. So, lately, I have found myself questioning my beliefs. So yesterday, after a couple of weeks of fear, doubt, and uncertainty, I said to myself, trust God. And even as I repeated it over and over, doubt kept creeping in. At that moment, I paused and began questioning my words. I wondered, do I really believe what I'm saying? Do I really believe the words I'm saying? So here we are, back with another episode of the Mindful Journal podcast. I'm Alexis, and I am so grateful that you're here with me today. Before we begin, I start every episode with a mindful practice, something super simple, something any and everyone can do. And we're going to start by getting yourselves into a quiet space, making sure that you're comfortable. Close your eyes if you like, and just take a couple of deep, slow breaths. Allow yourself to settle into this moment. Release any tension and simply be. I want to have a conversation about living from your truth, about the power of words we speak to ourselves, and then most importantly, about believing in the words that we say. So this episode is for anyone who's ever felt that internal conflict, right? When the affirmations you're repeating and reciting every day start to feel empty, and when the fear lingers despite the risks you've taken before, the achievements you've, made before, or any external factors that create fear, or even internal that create fear in your life. So we're going to break this down into about 3 or 4 different segments. The first is about reaffirming the power of your words. Our words hold incredible power. Every time we speak an affirmation, we are trying to anchor ourselves in hope and strength. But what happens when those words no longer feel real? So again, I recently found myself saying, trust God, over and over again. And even though I wholeheartedly wanted to believe in what I was saying, that small voice of doubt, sometimes honestly, really loud voice of doubt, kept whispering that I wasn't enough or that I had to do more. So instead of ignoring that feeling, I chose to confront it. I asked myself, do I truly believe in my words? And it opened my eyes to a world of insight into my own being, my very essence. So I started journaling and getting to the root of my doubt. And with every word, I started peeling back layers of conditioned thoughts, right? The things that I had heard over and over again as a child and just kind of carried into adulthood and parenthood. And I discovered something transformative. And it was that the doubt had no real weight or purpose in my life. It was present, but not significant. I began realizing that every affirmation that I speak, every scripture, every uplifting, encouraging word that I speak must be rooted in belief and knowing who and whose I am, right? It has to be rooted in who you are and what is real. Think about it. Our affirmations are meant to ground us in hope, to remind us of our inner strength. But if we just recite them without truly feeling them, then they become empty, right? If we recite them just at the surface level, just to do it, to get into the routine of doing it, they remain empty. And it is important to pause and reconnect with the true power behind the words that we speak. It's not enough to say, trust God, or I am enough. We have to really feel that truth in our hearts, in our whole bodies. We must feel that truth. And to get there, sometimes we have to recalibrate. And we have to get to and through the hard questions. So I ask myself, what do I need for what I'm saying to truly resonate? Right? What do I need to feel and know and believe it? Instead of just the quick trust God, as I share with my Mindful Journal Club members all the time, you have to go beyond the surface. You have to be detailed. And then trust God becomes, I trust that God is guiding my every step, even when I can't see the path clearly. Right? It's going beyond the simple, quick affirmation, and it's diving deep to align it with your inner truth and what you believe. So adjusting my language to match my inner truth helped me to believe in my words more. For me, it turned scriptures and simple affirmations into powerful anchors in moments of uncertainty. Journaling is the tool, right? Journaling is the tool. It serves as a mirror to help me reveal the inner strength that's already there, waiting to be recognized. So yesterday was a turning point for me, a reminder that living authentically and stopping to get to the root of my doubt, of my fear, of my uncertainty, stopping to get to the root of that means questioning and confronting instead of running away. It means we have to stop avoiding the struggles and the doubts. And we have to use them as stepping stones toward greater self-awareness and toward a greater you. It's a gentle invitation to reframe our inner narrative, right? Choose words that truly reflect our potential and trust the process, no matter how hard or difficult or challenging it may be. It's in the process of growth and transformation. It's not always easy. So ultimately, I found that when I face my doubts head on, they lose their power. And the affirmations and words that I speak become more aligned with what I know, what I believe, and what I have faith in. So here's a quick tip for you. Your actionable tip for this segment is, before you recite any daily affirmations, pause and ask yourself, does this resonate with my inner truth? If not, what words can I use that feel authentic to me? Allow your affirmations to evolve with you. This small moment of honest reflection can help you to transform how you connect with your voice and truth. So now that we've gone through our first segment around the power of words, we're going to dive into the idea and the practice of stillness and discovering yourself, your core self, through stillness. So in life, the rush of life, right? Life is crazy, chaotic, nonstop. In the rush of life, we often forget to stop and ask ourselves, who am I at my core? This used to be one of my favorite questions. It's what really started my business of writing books and developing cards and products that help us to get to the core of who we are. So how often are you asking yourself, who am I at my core? Beneath the surface of our busy schedules and constant noise, there is a true essence that often goes unnoticed. I found that when I truly get still, when I remove all distractions, I start to hear a deeper calling. Lately, I've been finding God in the quiet crevices of my mind. In those moments, I'm forced to confront not just my doubts, but also my gifts, my talents, and my true potential. I ask myself, am I operating from a place of genuine faith and purpose, or am I simply moving through the motions? And there's so much vulnerability in that question, one that requires us to face our insecurities, and acknowledge the parts of us that we'd rather not see. When I allow myself these moments of stillness, I begin to see a mosaic of who I really am. It's not just about recognizing the strengths that I've always known, but uncovering hidden facets, those quiet, resilient parts that emerge only when I'm not distracted by the chaos of everyday life. I've learned that true self-discovery happens in the silence between thoughts, where we can listen to our own inner wisdom and the gentle guidance of our spirit. In these quiet and reflective moments, I journal. I write down what I fear. I write down my dreams. I remind myself that vulnerability is not weakness. It's a doorway to deeper understanding. When I question whether I'm truly living from a place of faith, I also ask, what small actions can I take today to honor who I really am? It might be as simple as dedicating 5 minutes to deep breathing or going on a short walk outside. These simple small acts help rebuild the bridge between my daily routines and my inner truth. I encourage you to create space for stillness. Try setting aside a quiet time each morning or in the evening where you turn off all distractions. No phone, no TV, just you and your thoughts. And as you sit in silence, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Write down any insights that come up. Perhaps you'll notice patterns or moments when your true gifts shine through despite the noise of the world. Or maybe you'll even uncover a small and persistent doubt like I did that's been holding you back, which you can then address or confront. Every moment of stillness is like a seed planted in the garden of your soul. With care and intention, it grows into a more authentic expression of who you are and who you're meant to be. And even if the answers aren't immediately clear, and oftentimes they're not, the act of questioning itself is a powerful step toward transformation. By embracing these quiet moments, you're not just surviving, you're allowing yourself to live, to truly live, to operate with a deep sense of purpose and authenticity. This process requires patience and self-compassion, but every small step you take toward being present with yourself is a victory worth celebrating. So here's your actionable tip for this section. I want you to set aside a few minutes each day in the morning or before bed to sit completely still. Turn off your devices, close your eyes, and just listen. Ask yourself, who am I really? What are my true gifts? And even if the answers aren't clear initially, this practice will help you lay the groundwork for deep and lasting change. So we're going to shift to our third segment, which is all about embracing divine guidance and uncertainty. So there are moments, especially when the world feels heavy and uncertain, that I lean into someone deeper. When I feel overwhelmed, when the weight of life's challenges seem unbearable, I find solace in the quiet voice of God. I recite affirmations like trust God in scriptures, not merely as words, but as reminders that I am not alone in this journey. Even when doubt rears its head, when doubt surfaces, I'm learning that it is okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to question. Because in that questioning, I often find the reassurance that I need. So recently I had a moment, despite stating and reciting my usual affirmations, a wave of doubt hit me. I paused, I took a deep breath, and allowed myself to feel that uncertainty. In that stillness, I heard a whisper that reminded me that in everything that I'm doing, I am being guided, and that every step, even the hesitant ones, is part of the bigger plan. So your tip and journal prompt for this section is, whenever you are overcome by doubt, write down a single word that describes how you feel. and then write a second word that embodies hope. Allow these words to serve as anchors that reminders that even in moments of uncertainty, there is a path forward. In our fourth segment of the day, living authentically in a world that seems to be full of doubt. We're going to bring it all together at this point. And I know it's not easy to live authentically in a world that feels overwhelming and unpredictable. I have wrestled with my own fears and doubts and questioned even the very affirmations and sometimes scriptures that I recite without a second thought. But every time I allow myself to pause, to be still, I rediscover that I am more than my doubts. I am capable and I'm resilient and I have a unique purpose. Living from your truth is not about never feeling fear. It's about acknowledging it, embracing it, and then choosing to move forward despite it. It's about taking small, intentional steps that build a life of authenticity and hope. So today, I want you to choose one small risk, a decision that might feel uncomfortable, but is aligned with your inner truth. Whether it's speaking up, trying something new, or simply taking a moment for yourself, let that choice be a step toward living fully and authentically. So, your official journal prompt of the day. Grab your journals and get ready to write. Write about a moment when, despite overwhelming doubt, you paused, embraced stillness, and felt a spark of guidance. How do these experiences shape your vision for living authentically and courageously in the face of uncertainty? Take your time with this prompt, write freely and honestly, and it's almost as if you're having a conversation with yourself. There's no right or wrong answers, just your reflection guiding you toward a more clear vision. If today's conversation resonates with you, I invite you to join our Mindful Journal Club. It is a safe and supportive community where we share our struggles, celebrate our wins, and grow together through vulnerability and with hope. You can join at community.mindfuljournal.club. Thank you so much for sharing these moments with me on the Mindful Journal podcast. I hope that our conversation today has created a feeling of bravery, of courage to question your words, embrace stillness, and trust in higher guidance, even when doubt surfaces. Remember, living from your truth is a journey of continual growth, one mindful step at a time. Keep journaling, keep breathing, and I'll see you soon.